Hey guys, welcome back to this brand new video. In this video we are going to learn how to create this type of nice and simple like notification for YouTube videos inside of DaVinci Resolve in a few simple steps. So I am Vikash for Skyline Motions, and without any further ado, let's take a new project and get started. Alright, so here we are in DaVinci Resolve edit page, and first of all we have to do some basic settings. So click on this setting button and set the size of this project 1920 by 1080, and let's go with any frame rate. So in this case I am going with 30 frame per second and click on save. Now I'm going to create this animation inside of this Fusion page, so we have to take a new Fusion composition. So just go to this media pool, right click on that, click on this new Fusion composition, and let's call it Fusion Comp, and set the duration of this composition maybe 6 seconds long, frame rate 30, click on create, and just drag this Fusion Comp on this timeline just like this, and then go to your Fusion page. And here we have this media out node, so just drag this media out to the side for now because we don't need it. And let's take a background first. So click on this background button to add a background node on this flow window, and just drag this background to the viewer. All right, hit F2 on the keyboard to rename and call it background. And we need a white background, so we have to change the color. So just go to inspector window, and here we have this color. Click on this and let's select a pure white color. Hit OK. And now we have to attach a rectangle mask with this. So click on this rectangle box and just go to this inspector window, and here we have this width and height. So I'm going to set this value 0.7 in width, 0.3 in height, and let's set this corner radius. So we have to set this corner radius something around 0.4. And now we have this nice and simple rectangular shape. All right, and after that we need some asset for this animation. So just go to this media pool, right click on that, click on this import media, and I have given a link in the description. So just go to the link and download the asset folder, and inside of the folder you will get this hand cursor, the like button, and YouTube logo. So let's import all the assets. Click on open, and let's use this YouTube logo first. So just drag this YouTube logo on this flow window, hit F2 on the keyboard to rename and call it YouTube. Select this YouTube, add a transform node, and this transform node is going to be the controller of this YouTube logo. So hit F2 on the keyboard, call it controller YouTube. Hit OK, and now let's attach this controller with the background. So what we have to do, we have to take a new merge node. So this is the merge icon, just click on that and we get this new merge. And in this merge node we have this yellow and this green point. So I'm going to use this output as a background and this output as a foreground. So we have to connect this yellow background point with this background and green foreground point with this controller output. All right, and then drag this merge one to the viewer. All right, and after that you can control the size and position of this YouTube logo. So select this controller and just go to inspector window, and let's down the size a bit. So I'm going to set the size of this YouTube logo 0.2, and I'm going to place this YouTube logo right over here. And after that we need to create a text. So just click on this T icon to add a text node, and we have to merge this text with the main output. So we have to take one more merge. So click on this merge button, and again we have to connect this yellow background point with this main output and green foreground point with this text output. All right, and drag this merge to the viewer and select this text. And first of all we have to type anything. So I'm going to type like this video. So click on this color and select a black color, hit OK, and just drag it over here And let's down the size a bit. So I'm going to set the size of this text something around 0.07. All right, and now we have to create like button over here. So let's import the gray like button first. So just drag this gray icon over here, hit F2 on the keyboard, call it like. So I'm going to call it like underscore one, hit OK. And we have to attach a transform node that is going to be the controller of this like button. So click on this transform button, drag this transform to the viewer, hit F2 on the keyboard, call it controller like, and I'm going to attach this output with the main background. So take a new merge node, connect this yellow background point with this main output and green foreground point with this control like. All right, and just drag this merge 3 to the viewer. Just place it over here and select this like controller. Let's down the size a bit. I'm going to set this value something around 0.1 and just place this like button right over here maybe. And I'm going to set this center X value something around 0.75. All right, and height value 0.48 maybe. It's looking much better. We have to down the size of this text a little bit. So select this text, just go to this size and set the size maybe 0.06. Now it's perfect. And then we have to create a dislike button as well. So what we have to do, just select these two nodes, hit Ctrl C to copy, double click on this blank area, hit Ctrl V to paste. Drag it over here, select this, hit F2 on the keyboard, call it dislike. Select this, hit F2 on the keyboard, and this is going to be controller dislike. All right, and do the same thing, connect this controller dislike with the main output. So we have to take a new merge node and just drag this yellow point with this main output, green foreground point with this controller dislike, and just drag this merge 4 to the viewer and select this one, and let's drag it right over here maybe, and set this value something around 0.9, and let's rotate this button. So I'm going to set this angle value 180 degree and just drag it down a bit. All right, it's perfect. And then we have to create a animated like from gray to blue. So what we have to do, just drag these node like this and select these node again, hit Ctrl C to copy, hit Ctrl V to paste. Select this like, hit delete button, and let's import this blue like button. Hit F2 on the keyboard, call it blue like, and connect the output of this blue like with this controller. And now we have to take one more merge node. So click on this merge button and hold shift on the keyboard and attach this merge just after this controller like. Let's connect this merge just like this. As you can see, connect the green point with this and just drag it right over here. Now we can control the color from here. So this is gonna be blend. So hit F2 on the keyboard, call it blend. And now just go to the center of this timeline. So it should be frame number 90, and select this blend, go to this inspector window, and here this blend option. So right click on blend, click on animate, and set this blend value 0. Go to 1 frame forward in time and just set this value 100. So we get this type of animation, as you can see. All right, and now we have to create a click animation for this like button. So what we have to do, just select this blend, click on this transform button, and this transform going to be click animation. So hit F2 on the keyboard, call it click, and now you can animate the size of this. But as you can see, there is a problem over here. So what we have to do, hit Ctrl Z to go back, and we have to set this pivot point in the center of this like button. So what we have to do, just select this click, and here we have this pivot. So hold left mouse button on this X position value and just drag it like this. Drag this Y value as well. Basically, we have to set the anchor point in the center of this like button, and then you can animate the size of this like button perfectly, as you can see. All right, so just go to the center of this timeline on frame number 90, which is equal to 3 seconds according to 30 fps, and right click on size, click on animate, and go to 10 frame back in time. So it should be on frame number 80. Add one more keyframe and lock this value, and go to 10 frame forward in time from frame number 90, and add one more keyframe and lock this position as it is, and go to the center of these two keyframe on frame number 90, which is equal to 3 seconds according to 30 fps, and let's down the size a bit. So I'm going to set this value 0.8, and now this is a linear animation, so we have to make this animation smoother. So just go to spline window, check this option, click on fit button, select all the keyframes, and hit S on the keyboard, or you can also click on this smooth button. All right, close this spline window now. And after that, we have to create animated line over here. So what we have to do, we have to take one more background node. So just drag this background on this flow window and hit F2 on the keyboard, call it solid. So this is our solid color. And now let's attach our rectangular mask with this. So select this one, click on this rectangle, and this rectangle gonna be line. So hit F2 on the keyboard, call it line, hit OK. And now we have to merge this output with the main output. So just drag this merge right over here. And again, we have to connect this yellow background point with this main output and green foreground point with this solid. And just drag this merge 5 to the viewer. And after that, let's create a line. So select this line rectangular box, drag it like this. So I'm going to set this value 0.008 in height. All right, and just drag this line over here and set it like this. And after that, we can animate the size of this line. But as you can see, it's revealing from both of the side, but I want only one side. So what we have to do, we have to cut this extra part from this side. So just select this line, add one more rectangle mask in between the solid and this line, and hit F2 on the keyboard, and this is going to be mask, so call it mask, hit OK. Select this mask and go to this inspector window, and here we have this paint mode. So change this paint mode, merge to subtract. All right, and just select this mask and create a nice and simple shape and cut this extra part from here like this. All right, and then select this line, and now you can animate the line like this. All right, so set this value something around 0.35 in width. All right, and now we have to change the color of this line. So select this solid, click on this color, and we have to pick a screen color and pick this gray color. Hit OK. And now we have to create one more blue line over on this gray line. So what we have to do, just select these three nodes, hit Ctrl C to copy, and click on this blank area, hit Ctrl V to paste, and select this second solid node and click on this color, click on this pick a screen color and pick this blue color from here, hit OK. Alright, and now let's merge both of the lines. So take a new merge, hold shift on the keyboard and attach this merge just like this, as you can see. Alright, and connect this green point with this solid, and then drag this merge 5 to the viewer, and after that we have to animate this line underscore 1. So just go to the center of this timeline on frame number 90 on 3 seconds, and here we have to animate this width. So just set this width value something around 0.1 at the beginning, and right click on width, click on animate and go to 2 seconds forward in time from frame number 90. So it should be 150 according to 30 fps, and let's increase the width value. So I'm going to set this width value 0.3, and now we have nice and simple animation, as you can see, but this animation is linear right now. So what we have to do, just go to spline window and uncheck this click for now, check this line underscore 1 only, click on fit, select both of the keyframe and click on this smooth button, or you can also hit S on the keyboard to smooth. Set this CTI at the very beginning of this animation, hold this handle and just create a nice smooth curve and close this spline window. Alright, and now we have a nice smooth animation, and after that we have to animate the mouse cursor. So what we have to do, just drag this hand cursor on this flow window, hit F2 on the keyboard to rename and call it cursor, hit OK. And now just select this cursor, add a transform node just after this cursor, hit F2, and this is going to be cursor control. And now let's attach this cursor control with the main output. So take a new merge node, and again we have to connect this yellow background point with this merge 5, green foreground point with this cursor control, and just drag this merge 7 to the viewer. Alright, just select this cursor control, let's down the size of this cursor. So I'm going to set this value 0.4 maybe, and let's place this cursor on this like button and go to on frame number 60, which is equal to 2 seconds according to 30 fps. Alright, and right click on center, click on animate and lock this position as it is on frame number 60, and go to on frame number 120, which is equal to 4 seconds according to 30 fps, and again click on this diamond button to add one more keyframe and lock this position on frame number 120, and go to the end of this animation and just drag this hand cursor outside of this frame right over here, and then go to very beginning of this animation and just drag this hand cursor outside of this frame. And now just go to the center of this timeline on frame number 90, and we have to animate the size of this hand cursor as well. So right click on size, click on animate, go to 10 frame back in time on frame number 80, add one more keyframe and go to 10 frame forward in time on frame number 100 from frame number 90. So add one more keyframe over here as well, and then go to the center of these two keyframe and let's down the size a bit. So I'm going to set this value 0.3, and after that just go to spline window, and for this time uncheck this line underscore 1 and check this cursor control only, and check this size first, click on fit, select these keyframes, click on a smooth button. Alright, and uncheck this size, check this displacement, click on fit, select these two keyframe, click on a smooth, select these two keyframe and click on a smooth, and then close this spline window. Alright, and click on fit, close this media pool and select this main output, add a transform node, and this is gonna be final animation. So I'm going to call it final animation, hit OK, and just drag this final animation to the viewer, and then go to frame number 60, which is equal to 2 seconds according to 30 fps, and right click on center, click on animate, and go to frame number 120, which is equal to 4 seconds according to 30 fps, and right click on center, click on set key, and go to the end of this animation and just drag this whole animation outside of this frame. So I'm going to set this value negative 0.5. All right, and then go to very first frame of this animation and just drag this animation outside of this frame and set this value something around negative 0.5. And finally, we will get this type of animation. And go to spline window, hit F4 to full screen, and this time uncheck this cursor control and check this final animation only. Click on fit button, select these keyframes, hit S on the keyboard, select these two keyframes, hit S on the keyboard, and then go to the end of this animation. Over here, hold this handle and just drag it like this and create a nice smooth curve. Go to very beginning of this animation, hold this handle and just drag it like this and create a nice smooth curve. Alright, and close this spline window. And finally, we have to connect the media out with the main output. So this is our media out. Let's drag it over here and connect this final output with this media out. And then go to your edit page. And here, select this fusion composition, go to inspector window, and you can down the size a bit. So I'm going to set this value 0.5 and set this Y value something around negative 273. And finally, we have the like animation for YouTube videos. All right, and it's done. So just go to very first frame and let's take a look. Alright, so it's looking awesome, and that's all for this tutorial. I hope you guys like it. My name is Vikas and I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.